This is The Way You Lead, a show for the new era of leaders who are ready to rise. I'm Joshua Church, and every week we explore how to lead from the inside out with strength, heart, and authenticity. Through stories, strategies, and conversations with embodied leaders, you'll gain what you need to lead yourself and others in today's changing world. The way you lead matters, and now is the time to step up. Hey friend, welcome. I'm so happy to be coming to you live here from this podcast in Sedona, Arizona. I mean, if you're watching on video, look at that view behind. It is just spectacular. And we got some rain coming down now. The temperature's cooling a little bit, so it's kind of a vibey little mobile podcast studio. Got my boy Tynelli behind the camera. Always a pleasure. Today, I'm excited to share and bring you in on a bit of a challenge that I've had recently, which is the spiral. I think you all can relate to that. You know, the spiral where you start spiraling down and you feel lethargic and out of it, a bit depressed, unmotivated, and it just feels like you're kind of spiraling down. So I have so much to share, I feel like, and just coming back from my 8 weeks abroad, from 2 retreats in Iceland to travel in Portugal to travel into Nepal and the trek up to Everest Base Camp. So there's so much I feel like I have to share with you, and I will in time as we've rebooted this podcast. And today specifically, I want to focus on this spiral and what happened as I started spiraling, how I noticed it, and how I navigated my way through getting out of the spiral. And you know, the spiral is something that, or as one of my friends, Debbie, always says, getting caught in the muck, like noticing when you're in the muck, when you're just feeling like it's mucky. And the spiral is something that happens to all of us. And it's not something that we can avoid, in my opinion. And I really do believe that when we catch ourselves spiraling, it's a moment for absolute opportune growth. And it's when we're ripest for the growth and harvesting these growth lessons. So I came back from my 8 weeks abroad, and I was so excited to dive back into things. I'd been gone away from my computer for 8 weeks, and like a lot of things brewing, specifically around some of the Find the Other stuff, launching the community, onboarding a new client that I signed right before I left, and I was so excited to get back into the gym with my personal trainer. All these things, I'm like, cool, I'm back. Catch up with friends, all these things. So I came back and I hit the ground running. No, I hit the ground sprinting because I was so happy and so excited to be back in San Diego, and very quickly my body caught up with me and forced me to slow down. So what happened was the first week I was back, I like hit it full speed after all this travel and a super long travel back from Nepal. And I started doing a workout with my trainer, and I felt this weird sensation of just almost like systemic weakness, to the point where I was in the middle of a set, and right where it felt like my muscles were supposed to kick in and work, it just felt like I had nothing. Like I couldn't even pick myself up on the pull-up bar or lift one more weight. It just felt like I had all the energy zapped out of me. And that was weird. And that was kind of the first indication. I was feeling a little bit lightheaded, a little bit tired, and my body was whispering, hey dude, stop the workout, go home, get some rest. But I noticed that, but I was like, no, come on. Like, I feel like I just need to power through this. Let me power through the rest of the workout. I'm halfway done anyway. And then about 10 seconds later, after feeling that sensation, I acknowledged, and I told my trainer, hey, I'm feeling a little bit out of it. And he was like, cool, just take your time, go slow. We work out outside at this awesome facility and on the turf outside. And all of a sudden, I'm just about to pick up the bar for my next set, and I get hit with a muffin that falls from the sky. Like a muffin, like legitimately, a muffin falls from the sky, and I get hit. And I'm like, what the hell was that? A muffin dropped, and it was a bird that was carrying it, I guess. It was a bird carrying a muffin, and it was like a solid half of a muffin, and it drops and it hits me, and I'm like, what the hell? We both look at each other laughing, like, I just got hit by a muffin? Like, what? Okay, that's a pretty clear sign that like maybe I should be done with the workout. So it's like, then it was like, first God, the universe was like whispering, and then it was like talking. The muffin hitting me was definitely talking, saying, hey dude, probably go stop and chill. And I still acknowledged that, and I was like, all right, that's weird, but like, let me finish the set. Like, I'm going to wrap up this early. I'm not going to push myself. So I took it as that. And then I sit down before getting to actually pick up the bar for that next set. And then the song that comes up that's playing on the speaker is, I hear, chickadee check yourself before you wreck yourself. And at that moment, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. That's it. I'm done. It's that moment that now God was not only whispered, then spoke to me, and now is shouting, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like, I'm about to get hurt trying to do something, or like, I just need to go home. So I was like, both my trainer and I looked at each other. We're like, that's it. I'm done. I went home. I took a nap. I slept for like 2 hours, and I just cleared the rest of my calendar, rescheduled some stuff for the rest of the day. And I was like, my body went into this deep, like, chill the hell out, man. Like, just chill out. And I let myself chill out. But what happened from there was, and I think it was part of that feeling of weakness, like I kind of got into the spiral where I woke up and I was just a bit out of it. I got down a deep scroll hole. You know, the type of scroll hole where you're on Instagram and you're just like, you get to the weird part of the internet where you're like, that's too much internet for me today. That's enough internet for me today. I got there, and then I was just feeling a bit out of it, lethargic and slow. And then I started getting into my head because I noticed that I logged in, paid my credit card bill that auto pays, and I noticed after that happened, coming back from the travels where I was just very present and not very aware, I noticed that my bank account was way down because I've been living off of savings and as part of the plan. But I started falling into the scarcity mindset of saying, shit, like my monies are going downhill. Like, that's not a fun feeling. A lot of you can relate to that. And so it started getting it aided to the spiral, and the spiral sped up, going down faster and faster. And then after coming back, and I was catching up with some friends and went out to socialize, and then I started feeling the sense of like loneliness in a way, especially from being gone for so long, of like feeling this fear of this desire to want to meet and attract in my partner and be in a relationship, and noticing this feeling of being alone and like feeling that sensation of like, oh, that doesn't feel very good. So now all of a sudden I'm feeling weak, I'm feeling broke, and I'm feeling alone. 3 great feelings we love. And what I did was at first I numbed out. And it's normal. I mean, there's certain patterns I think we all have for numbing out. Some of the ones I noticed, really for me, screen time. My screen time shot up through the roof as well. Food, eating a lot of ice cream. I love ice cream, so eating a lot of ice cream. Pornography as well. All these different crutches or ways of numbing out that I'm aware of. And I just like was in that spiral for like a solid, I would say like 2 days of being just in that, like feeling off in those ways. And I knew what I needed to do, and I was avoiding it, which was I needed to actually turn and face it. And those moments of feeling certain heavy emotions, I know when I want to go numb out, that's the time to tap in. That's the time to tune in, not to numb out, to tune in to the emotions that are present, to sit down with my journal and to give myself the space to feel those feelings, to feel the feeling of scarcity around finances, to take that fear all the way down, to feel the feeling of fear around, am I ever going to find my partner? Am I ever going to find love? To feel the fear around feeling weak and out of shape in my body and what that feels like. And as soon as I gave myself permission to sit in those feelings and process those feelings, the energy shifted immediately. And I was able to sit down and just be with it and journal it out and journal out those fears. Like, I have this fear of running out of money. It's like, and as I take it all the way down to the end, it always ends up in the same place. It's like, I have a fear of being broke and alone. I think a lot of us, those end up being the 2 fears that we have. It's like we all have a fear of being broke and alone, right? That kind of triggers a lot of the primal instinct that we have. And one of the things I love about fear is FEAR. Fear is an acronym that stands for false experiences appearing real. I know it's false. I was trying to think my way out of it. As long as I was trying to think my way out of these feelings of being afraid, of being lonely or broke or weak, like I couldn't achieve that. It wasn't a thinking cognitive exercise. I could not think my way out of feelings that required me to feel my way through. There's a big difference there. And I think a lot of people, especially in the spiritual space as well, or a lot of type A go-getters, like we have such a framework for strong thinking and the power of positive thinking that we often can, and I have often at times tried to think my way out of problems that required me to feel my way through. And as long as I try to think my way out of something, my body's not catching up with it. So I really took the time to sit with that, sit with the feelings, sit with my journal, get the pen and paper and like be with those feelings. And what happens when you feel your feelings? They move through, they shift, they transmute, the fear dissolves. There's a breadcrumb, there's a gold nugget that something shifts and energy shifts and moves within that. So that's one thing I want to share with you is if you're in that spiral, if you you are noticing these feelings of fear around something, whether it be relationships, whether it be finances, whether it be your physical fitness, whatever it might be, you cannot think your way out of those problems that require you to feel your way through. So I'm going to say it again. Stop trying to think your way out of it. You're only going to get so far. Now create the space instead to feel your way through it and see how the energy shifts right away. See how when you can sit with that, how it transmutes or shifts within your body and how your point of attraction can shift from there. And it was amazing because I had so much evidence right after that to support this practice. And this is the nugget that I'm taking out of this with me, is that when we can shift our point of attraction, then everything changes from that point. Like, as long as I'm focused on that, noticing how much my finances are going downhill and how that doesn't feel good, I'm broadcasting this broke signal. As long as I'm feeling lonely, then I'm broadcasting this lonely signal. And do you think that I'm going to attract someone from that vibration? No way. Do you think I'm going to attract finances and abundance from the vibration of, oh, I'm broken, it feels so bad seeing my money go down? No way. Like, that's just not how it works. I'm never going to be a match for bringing in those things that I want. And I can try to think my way out of it, but it's only going to get me so far until I feel my way through it. So once I did that, I felt the power shift back to this empowerment of, okay, cool, I noticed that. And now that my body has released that, I can start to practice the feeling of, oh yeah, oh, where in my life do I feel love? Where am I not alone? Oh, that feels good. I can feel that fully now. Oh, where in my life do I have abundance, not just financially? Oh, this abundance of love and relationships and in health and abundance in the place that I live and in sunshine and in good food that I eat. And now you can start to see the momentum starts to build, and now I can attract from a very different perspective, a very different energy point. And to just show you how real this is a law that the way the universe works. This is the law of attraction. This is the way the universe works, is that it's like the law of gravity. This is just the way it works, is that next morning, I'm not even kidding, after feeling my way through it, that next morning I wake up and I see that I have a incoming Zelle transfer from our old ad agency. Shout out to Neptune Collective, my guys Kurt and Pat, absolute legends. And they were our paid media team that we worked with while we were running Edge. And I wake up to $2,000 Zelle transfer from them. And I was like, this can't be right. Like, maybe it was something weird with the payments. Like, well, I don't know why they sent me $2K. I haven't talked to them in a while. And I text them right away. I'm like, yo, did you guys I sent them a screenshot of it. I said, yo, did you guys mean to do this? And they're like, yeah, man, like 2 introductions you made to us, several months ago ended up becoming great clients. And so I wanted to send you a little something. I'm like, wow, amazing. And of course it's like, that's not necessarily income to live off of, but for me, what the beautiful part is that was a wink from God, from the universe, saying this is the right path. Like, your point of attraction energy is shifting. And it's so powerful. Every time something like that happens, it's like, oh yes, there's truth in that to me. So in wrapping this up, like, a couple things I want to just bring to your attention and give you permission to do. One is, again, stop trying to think your way out of problems or situations that require you to feel your way through. Sit down, get your ass in that seat, sit down with your pen and with that journal, and close your eyes and feel all the fear. Allow that fear to move through your body. Allow the sadness. Allow whatever those negative emotions that are knocking at the door. Like, open the door to them, because as long as they're knocking at the door and we don't open the door, they're always going to be knocking at the door, and we're just going to want to turn and go numb out with the other things. Like I was saying, we're going to numb out with food. We're going to numb out with pornography. We're going to numb out with screen time and scroll holes on Instagram and being distracted from what we're doing, until we actually turn and face and open the door for those emotions and those things that just want to be felt. So please do that. And know that, like, one analogy I've been working with recently is that our body is like, has all these different rooms in them, and every emotion is a different room, and it can be scary to open the door to the room of fear. But just remember that you are the light. It's dark in there, but you are the light, and simply opening up that door and walking in and bringing your presence to be with that brings the light to the room. You don't have to worry about fumbling for a light switch. You are the light in that room, purely by bringing your presence and awareness towards it. So for me, this experience was phenomenal because it was such a reminder, and it was such an embrace it was such a reminder to embrace those emotions, and again, to drop into that feeling body. As much as I like to think, and I have strong thinking, power of positive thinking and psychology, no, I know logically that it's a numbers game, and I know logically like that I will turn things around financially, and that I will meet someone. It's like, it doesn't matter how much you logically convince yourself of something. You have to embody it in your feeling body, in your energetic body. Until that happens, it's constantly just going to be knocking at the door, waiting for you to turn to do it. So tune in, don't numb out, lean into the fear, false experiences appearing real, whatever emotions are knocking at the door, open the door with love, and have some grace for yourself as well. Like one of my friends, Chad, as I was talking him through some of the challenges I was facing with this, he was just like, yeah, have some grace for yourself. Like, of course, you're just coming back from a long trip. Like, of course, like you're coming across the world. Like your body's going to need a sec to slow down. Like give yourself a sec. Like it would be weird if you weren't feeling that way. And that really helped as well. So give yourself some grace, find good people around you as well to be able to be able to support you as you're going through those moments. And if you're in that spot right now, like it's okay. This shall pass and this too shall pass. Like you will work through it. I have faith in you. I believe in you. Here are some tips to help you through it very practically. I hope that helps. And I love you so much. And I can't wait to see you tune in next time. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you on the next episode.